Hey everyone, Phobos here, and just coming at you with a little bit of a league update. So I've been kind of quiet for a while on YouTube, and it's mostly just because I've been grinding. As you've seen, probably a couple days ago, or about I think it was about 3 or 4 days ago, I ripped on my first character, which was supposed to be the Freezing Pulse Totem character. By the time I was leveling Flame Blast, and you got kind of caught off guard by the animated weapons from Onslaught, or I think it was Rampage actually is what it was from. And I posted that rip. I'll probably post that one to Reddit at some point. I just like keep forgetting, but I think it would actually be kind of funny because I got absolutely wrecked there, even though it wasn't really that funny at the time. But yeah, so after that, we've kind of restarted the character, leveled his Flame Blast Stones again because it's super easy. I think I transitioned around, want to say mid 70s to level 80, excuse me. You can actually transition way before that though if you want, but I kind of didn't really have the gems because I had forgot to like level a freezing pulse or something, so I wanted it to be like at least level 18. So I was just doing a bit of gem leveling and and kind of like compiling the gear I wanted. I picked up Winds of Change, as you can see right here, and then I wasn't able to get a lab enchant for the helm because at the time it was like day 2 or something like that. I think they're kind of more available now, but I'm still kind of not sure if I want to buy one yet because they're a bit expensive. It's like 40 chaos, I think, for the Freeze Pulse one. From what I've seen, I have to check again today. But yeah, and then I just picked up some wands and stuff. So I'm gonna just go over the character though because I've made a couple of changes from the other version in terms of the tree and in terms of the gearing choices that I've made. And so I'll just go over things and give you kind of like a little bit of a progress update. So in terms of the actual character tree, the passives are not really that different from the previous guide that I made. I would say that right now I don't have this power charge, but that's because I don't currently have void batteries, and I pretty much am going to get it in the next level. Like once I hit 92, I'm probably going to respec out of these points right here and use these two with the third one to get the power charge. That's if I decide to get the void batteries, because if I don't, then it's probably not worth it. Those 2 points actually probably give more damage. But if I do end up getting the void batteries, then it's definitely worth it to get this power charge. The thing is that I do kind of really want the power charge duration because it's just a little bit of a pain in the ass keeping the charges up right now. It's not like super intensive, but if I had a little bit more duration, it would just be super helpful. So I'm kind of looking forward to that. And in terms of the void batteries, I will pick them up eventually, but I'm not really sure if I want to wait because they're kind of expensive right now, and I have a feeling the price is going to nosedive. I kind of have a lot of currency, but I don't really like to just waste it, and I kind of want to do a lot of builds this league, so I'm trying to basically build up a store rather than just blow everything on this build, and then if I rip or something, I'll be fucked. So yeah. Uh, the other changes, or the main change rather, because obviously in the main build I take that power charge anyway, is the inspiration nodes with the mind over matter. This is just super good, and especially that I don't run a blasphemy on this version because it's Inquisitor obviously, and blasphemy got nerfed anyways, so I would be a little bit hesitant running blasphemy on the older versions as well, even the Hierophant or the Elementalist. Um, because of the range change. So yeah, you probably just want to pick this up and go Moam, because Moam is actually super fucking good. And it doesn't really synergize that well, I guess, when you have ES. Um, but it's kind of just like another layer of defense, right? So I don't have like that much ES, and when this gets depleted, it goes into my Moam. If it's a really big hit, it actually kind of works out nice because it's not as if my entire health pool will get chunked out. Like if it's a really big hit, maybe like I go 1/3 into my health pool after my ES gets wiped out, and then that takes a decent chunk from the mind over matter. So yeah, it's pretty nice. Definitely recommend picking up that. It's especially good for leveling with the flame blast totems and stuff. It's just amazing node now. Mind over matter was always good, but just being able to get the mana without being so dependent on mana from gear is, I think, what really makes it that much stronger this time around. So as for the Ascendancy, I pretty much just went the same nodes that I did in the previous league or patch. I actually did have Instruments of Virtue initially because I was leveling as Flame Blast Totem, And if you don't mind paying the respec cost, Instruments of Virtue is great to have for Flame Blast because it's very easy to just do the shield charge thing. I was doing that for a while. You can see it in the rip video actually. I just had Instruments of Virtue. I was spamming the shield charge and putting the totems down. And it's really great for Flame Blast totem especially because that cast speed is just so necessary and absolutely monster. So really good node for Flame Blast. And then I just kind of respect out of it to this, but you don't have to. You can certainly keep Instruments of Virtue if you want. It's not going to give you as much like freezing potential, I guess you could say, because the enemies take more damage, and it's not it's safe in the sense of this gives you the 8% less elemental damage taken, which is really nice. But it's still like an absolutely fine node, and Uber isn't really that hard to do with this build, so you can kind of pick the other one up relatively quickly. As far as Uber is concerned, I've done the 6 challenges or whatever, the 6 trials, so I think I'm waiting until I get possibly my void batteries or just maybe a little bit better gear because I just really want to be able to face roll Azaro. I don't want to have any chance of ripping. I mean, this character probably already can face roll him to be honest, but I'm pretty sure he's freeze immune, so it's mostly going to come down to the damage. Um, so I just want to make absolutely sure that I just like Shrek him, you know? Uh, so that's kind of why I'm waiting a little bit on that. And let's go over the gear a little bit because this is where another area that I've made some changes in. So nothing special with the helm, nothing special with the soul mantle. Some thoughts I had about soul mantles in general. So right now I'm doing the whole thing where I'm basically flipping them. I'm like buying 6 sockets, trying to link them, and if I link them, reselling them. Now I resold one for like 25 chaos or 20 chaos, I think it was, but the price is like crashing really hard. So like at one point they were like 40 to 50 C, but that was like in the first 3 days or something for a 5 link, and now like I barely sold the other one for 20. So yeah, it's just really hard to do that. So I think I'm gonna just pretty much end up taking a loss on like any one that I buy. So it may not really be worth it to that strategy where you buy one and then you try and link it and then resell it. Like you may just want to buy one that's fairly well rolled and then just spam your fusings into it. And I would normally kind of just buy one, but I don't know how many people are actually trying to 6-link them, so it's kind of like, yeah, if I want my 6-link, I may have to link it myself. I just have to keep an eye out on the market, I guess, a bit and see like what people are doing really. But the other thing I had in mind, if I wanted to keep buying them and trying to sell them, was buy the Soul Mantle and then get the colors I need, which is 5 blue. Now I don't think 5 blue is like really bad colors because the totem or the chest has implicit spell totem. So a lot of builds that would be using this for totems would obviously they'd use it for totems that are being supported by a spell totem. And a lot of the links are probably blue and maybe some green or something like that. Like you know, their main red link is actually the spell totem itself, right? So yeah. And the reason why I'm talking about that is because my idea was to buy these, try and link them, and if I get the 5 link, then corrupt them, right? And the idea is to corrupt to try to hit the +1. You can also get other cool stuff, but this item has no implicit, so pretty much anything you get is going to be a benefit, unless it bricks or something like that. Even white sockets may potentially be nice. So yeah, I think I might try and do that. If they're cheap enough if buying the 6 sockets are cheap enough, I may just try and buy them and corrupt them. So that's just the news on the Soul Mantle chest. The belt's not really optimal belt because it doesn't have flash duration. As you can see, the flasks aren't really optimal right now either. This one, I'm using this one even though it should have move speed on it. Because I don't have the proper duration warding because I just haven't been able to find one. I have to check today. I just got online. Yeah, the basalt is not really properly rolled either, but like I said, it's kind of been hard to get flasks. So the boots, I actually just made these myself. I bought a pair of Conjurer's boots with the 120% enchant from ETUP. Kind of sucks that they weren't Sork boots because they would have a lot more ES on them actually, but it's kind of good enough. And I basically used the essences of movement speed or whatever. I think it's Zeal or something like that. When you use them on boots, they give the movement speed. So I put one essence in, and I got these rolls, and I was just like, that. Those actually happened to be exactly the resistances I need and pretty much the proportions I needed. So I didn't really want to push it, and I just crafted Life on there, and I'm kind of using them for now. I'll get some better boots at some point, but not really too concerned about it because I don't want to spend a ton of currency. Um, Rings, just very basic resist rings at this point. I don't even have much mana or mana regen, but it's not a super big deal because this build isn't really that mana intensive. Winds of Chains Gauntlets, I got a pretty nice roll here. I was lucky. High projectile damage, high life with the making use of the new lower bound of the movement speed reduction there, so that's good. Wands are pretty decent, but nothing super special. Might be upgrading these before Void Batteries, but only if I can find something really cheap. And, oh, the neck is the thing I really want to talk about. So, I've been trying out this, especially since I don't have the prod speed from the helm yet, and it's been pretty good actually. Now, the main advantage of these is that they're super cheap, and that you can like spam corrupt them to try and hit something really nice, like a +1 curse or something like that. So that's kind of like the gist of what I was going for here. Mainly right now I'm just using it because it's cheap, but I may try and corrupt one in the future. If you use like shield charge or whatever, then the upgraded version is nice. If you use like a scepter and a shield or something like that, or a dagger and a shield or something. So that's also nice. I think eventually though, if I don't get one with +1 curse, I'm probably just going to use the prod speed on the helm, and then get just like a really nice neck or something, because you can get more damage from a really nice neck. And you can get more survivability as well. So, and you don't probably need the extra prod speed if you have the prod speed on the helm, and you really probably don't need the damage enchant on the helm. So that's kind of how that goes. And the other bit of gear change that I wanted to go over was this item, this Brine Rot flag. It's actually really amazing. I think it's better than the old setup we had for power charges, because basically you just use, I have it put to, what is this called? Rallying Cry, and it just generates charges when you use it. So what I normally do is I'll go into a map, right, and then I'll get to full charges, or I'll get to like 6 charges with Orb of Storms, actually. And because that's super quick, because you put that down in like an easy pack that's not going to kill you, and it brings you up to 6 charges right away. And then, ooh, somebody's going to buy this, I guess. I'm probably actually going to just take that. Okay, one sec. But anyways, yeah, you go up to 6 charges, and then you just swap, and then you use Rallying Cry. And if you have like a +1 to power charge wand like this is like really cheap in your offhand, you actually go up to 7 charges. And you can just run around the map with 7 charges. And as long as you don't cast Orb of Storms, which you don't really want to do that anyway, because you have the 120% increased crit chance if you haven't crit recently. So you don't really want to use Orb of Storms, and you can kind of just weapon swap when you're low and use this, and it's really easy because the Warcry actually has like a very smooth cast animation. So you can wait till like the last second and use the Warcry, and unlike the shield we had last time, you're guaranteed to get the power charges. So you can literally wait till like really low on the duration of the charges and just instantly bring them back up to full. And this will be even better when you have more charge duration. So this shield is like really amazing. I mean, the only thing is like it's not quite as good when starting the map and like spamming to get the charges. When I do Uber Lab, I may actually use one of the other shields, because when you go into Azaro's room, you automatically trigger his spawn right away. And that means you want to get power charges super quickly. So I may just do that with the other shield, but you could probably do it with this as well, because he takes a pretty long animation to get up, so you can get off quite a few Rallying Cries. And then I just use Rallying Cry for the damage and the mana regen, because most of the time you're going to end up hitting something. And as long as you hit like one thing, you're going to proc the mana regen, which is really good, and it helps you not really need as much mana regen on rings and stuff. So yeah, this shield is a very vastly superior to the other shield, I would say. Even though if you can only get a hold of the other shield for whatever reason, it'll work, but I think this one's just much better. So that's pretty much the character, and I think I cleared a lot of content with it. I'm level 91, about to be 92. I have most of the Atlas. Where's my Zena? Oh, here she is. Yeah. I have a lot of my atlas completed in the sense of like the maps that I want shaped and stuff like that. I just need to shape a tier 15, so I've been able to do all that content without a problem, and I have like 67% bonus. Still need to get some of the other maps, but everything's going pretty well. And yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted to go over. I'll be making content a lot more readily. Sorry about the break, just was kind of like grinding really hard and trying to make currency and stuff. So yeah, I'll try and upload a lot more regularly from now on. But yeah, I just wanted to give you guys an update on what's going on with the build, and yeah, so thanks for watching, and hope you guys have a good time in the game and stay safe.